Everyone, welcome to We Build New America. As you know, we got a new president-elect with a Donald J. Trump. Congratulations for everyone that went out of and then your voice have been heard, and because the country was on the break, and thanks God that we prevail. And I applaud for whoever voted for Donald Trump. You guys win. But if you didn't vote for Donald Trump, we probably voted for another time. Next time is gonna be 4 years. So basically like we been like for 4 years for Biden. So it's not that big deal, but every president has a policy. We're gonna see what kind of policy Trump has and if it's a pro or against. So today we're gonna talk about one policy, which is the border crisis, and then we're gonna see what he says. So we're gonna get stay tuned, and then we're gonna get our mind.
President-elect Donald Trump has vowed to get right to work when he returns to the White House on January 20th, with the economy and immigration his two top priorities. Trump is expected to issue executive orders to secure the border and tap into.
So basically, as you can see right now, if you can see cost and basic essential under Biden-Harris administration. 19%, 20%, that's mean overall payment, that's mean expensive for your paying taxes over 20%, food you pay 22%, or shelter 23%. And also you can see about the housing, you can see about your rent. I'm married, I will increase at this 1%. Energy 30%. Remember when gas prices are almost $10, 30%. So basically this is what happened in 2021. And then Trump gonna say from January 20 next year he gonna change that, and then we're gonna hear what he said, because this time it's right now so too good to be
into
true.
America's energy capacity to lower oil prices, spark economic growth, and rein in inflation that has seen the cost of basic essentials skyrocket under.
So basically, when the oil price drop, that's mean that the market gonna correct himself at the end of the day, because oil prices mean a higher pay rate and everything. So when the oil drop, that's mean that the you're gonna save more pockets, because the food gonna be decreased, and but the shelter, but your rent not gonna decrease automatically. But if the oil keep dropping, basically the rent gonna be an impact after a couple months. So right now, he just want the basic. I totally again didn't I have the idea. I totally with him. Hey, again, let's do it, and gonna see further what's gonna happen.
Under the Biden-Harris administration, while enacting mass deportation to remove the millions of people illegally living in America. Joining me now are former acting ICE Director Tom Homan and Key Square Capital Management CEO illegally living.
So let's just see. So basically, they say for the fiscal year, it's gonna be 2 million people, 2024. That's gonna be border patrol. You see all those people. How many people went on for the border? Almost 2 million in 2021, almost 2.4 million 2022, almost 2.5 million 2023, now almost 2.1 million to 2024. So basically, if you add all that together, that almost million people that's crossed the border illegally. So basically, this is crazy. This is
In
ridiculous.
America. Joining me now are former acting ICE Director Tom Homan and Key Square Capital Management CEO and founder Scott Bessent. Gentlemen, great to have you both with us. We so appreciate the both of you. We are expecting you both to have a role in the upcoming Trump administration next year. So, Tom Homan, let me kick it off with you. What are the plans for deportation? You heard what President Trump told me in that interview a couple of months ago. He says it's got to be done. How do you round up 10 million people and deport them?
Well, look, I agree with the president's plan on this, and the same plan he had during his first administration. You concentrate on the public safety threats and the national security threats first, because they're the worst of the worst. So it's going to be the.
I totally agree with it, because so many migrant people come in the country, the crime is skyrocketing, and then everyone is out there looking for the shoulder, and next thing there's a lot of division right now. And then those immigrant has a opportunity that they can be at their first home. They also have full stamp, they also have their cash, also the SNAP. But we as American, we living on the we don't have even a job properly, because the constitution or the government, what they do, the job, what they do, they kick out those people that have a lot of experience, and next thing you know, they hire those people so they can pay less, so basically give more money out of their pocket. If you look at the job right now, if you can see when 2024 everything's skyrocketing, the payment is $16 an hour, $20 an hour, and this will be at least $30, so at least come make it survival. But since there are so many illegal immigrants right now, they can buy so they still have $16 an hour, so they can keep their company. And then you as an American, you see $16 an hour, this is a slap in the face. This is nothing you can do for $16 an hour. They know it, because even you go to McDonald's right now, $20 you need to put to food to eat, $20. And then they say $16 an hour is something that you should be apply for, and I totally hate that. When I see when apply for a job $16 an hour, they're not looking for you, they're looking for an illegal immigrant where they can really pay little and then get some much in return, and also no benefit as well.
The worst first. That's how it has to be done. And we know a record number of people on the terrorist watch list have crossed this border. We know a record number of terrorists have been released in this country. We've already arrested some planning attacks. So look, the president is dead on when he says criminal threats, national security threats are going to be prioritized, and that's the way it's going to be.
Scott Bessent, the Wall Street Journal this morning is writing about the cost of this deportation, and it's going to be hefty. So you've got the cost of rounding up people who may have committed crimes for deportation at a time that President Trump wants to have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security.
Wow, that's a big, huge. I totally agree. No tap for it, because I work especially in the customer service, and they give me a lot of tips. And sometimes, someday they can give you like 100 tips, sometimes they give you 300 tips. And most of the time, what they do in the paycheck, they give you two stack. They give you the hourly little rate on the top, and the bottom they give you the tips, and they tax all of them for at least 25%, all of them. So they add the number together and then tax them 25%. So basically, if you make $100 tips, 25% to go to their pocket. It's $75 for you. So basically, if you go to, that's a big win, and no taxes also for full timer. At this point, many companies are gonna cut a full time like 25 hours. They're not gonna go over 25 hours. So I think they're gonna be a lot of part time workers, especially in a hospital, especially in those. They're gonna have a lot of part time to worker. And also, this is no social a big win for people, because especially that's elderly people, no taxes. And the Democrat is worried about how much it costs. You guys spent 400, almost $500 billion for the immigration to come illegally, for them to support them, and now you guys gonna complain about how much it's gonna cost. And on top of that, the fire and how many billion you sent to Ukraine for the war, and for Russia, and now you guys complain about the cost. Come on, get a grip,
Security.
Democrat.
How will we afford all of this?
Well, Maria, first of all, let's talk about the human cost. We have 100,000 fentanyl deaths a year because of the porous border. We have the increased crime.
They say 10 million migrants have illegally crossed U.S. border under the Biden administration, and also the ethanol is the border. They put drugs in the pocket so they can take it and they become overdose. This is the prevent death that we cannot stop from the beginning if we stop the people crossing the border. Because all Trump was asking for back then is $9 billion, but we spent almost $5 billion just for them to come in illegally just to support them. Think about that, and now Democrat worry about the cost. Come on, get
Have
out of
the
here.
underlying fear that the American people have. You can't put a price on that. But I'll tell you, too, that what we are going to do here, Donald Trump has staged the biggest political comeback in history, and I think that we are on the verge of a golden age in the economy for the next 4 years, where we can have a growth agenda, where we deregulate, get energy prices down, and get interest rates down, and that will drive growth like we have not seen for years. And the cost of this deportation will be a rounding error, but I keep going back to the human cost, and you can't put a price on that.
I totally agree with that. You can put a price on that, because remember, they spend a lot of money on Ukraine. They spend a lot of money on the war for Israel, for Palestine, for Iran, for Ukraine, and then now they worry about the cost for those deportation. All those money you spent overseas, but now those money you want to put it in America, and then now you worry about it. This is why the Democrat Party is so consuming. If you think about that, they destroy what the common sense is. It's not about common sense anymore. It's about like, oh, do it my way. Because those people, the why they worry about it, because those people that come on this country illegally, they take your job, they take your seat. Now you cannot apply for a job because all those jobs already taken for them, because they put the pressure on the people that's hiring. They said that we have to hire those people. I work on those fields, and I mean like at least 40% that's in my workplace that's illegal immigrant. And I cry a lot because there's a lot of people that's graduate from school. They want to start working. They have to have experience, but they don't have a chance because those people that's come illegally, they already take the job, and then now they worry about the price. If Trump take those people out, so a lot of people here live in this country, they have opportunity to apply for the job, they have opportunity to live for the family, and they gotta work for that.
Well, one of the things that he has said he wants to do is re-implement his remain in Mexico policy. Tom, tell me about that. That requires asylum seekers to stay in Mexico while their cases are processed. Your thoughts on how important that will be? And again, same question for you, the cost of deportation.
Well, first of all, cost of deportation, this President Trump's plan is going to be a cost savings to the American people, because this administration is paying for free airline tickets all over the country, free hotel rooms at $500 a night, a free education, free medical care, and that's in perpetuity. What President Trump's plan is going to do is over time is going to save the taxpayers money and put an end to this foolishness. They're paying $500 a night for a hotel room in New York City. Meanwhile, there's empty ice beds at $127 a night. So President Trump's plan is going to save the taxpayers money over time. And as far as the Remain in Mexico program, look, I worked for 6 presidents, starting with Ronald Reagan. Every president I worked for took steps to try to secure the border. No one did more than President Trump. Okay, his success was unprecedented. And when he came up with the Remain in Mexico program, that was an outstanding idea, because that stopped people from coming. People are going to still claim asylum, but they're going to wait in Mexico. But once the word got out that they weren't going to be released, they stopped coming. When they stopped coming, women aren't being raped by the cartels. Children aren't drowning in the river. The cartels aren't making money. So President Trump's policy to remain in Mexico, not only a game changer, moved it to an historic low on illegal immigration, it saved thousands of lives.
Well, I mean,
That's totally agree. Look at the picture of many people that cross the border illegal. All those kids, you see, kids, little kids underage, and all those people came in the country. Look at them crossing the border. This is crazy. This is outrageous. And then now you heard about the costing effect. So I totally agree with that. He said that they're gonna save American money, which is a good thing for the American, because we gotta take things straight. And the first step, somehow you gotta spend money, and the money that he's gonna spend, we're gonna see or the benefit of that, because that money now many people gonna work, and then there's a lot more opportunity, and they're gonna start more people for coming in, and they got asylum, and next thing you know they got less death, for example, for ethanol, and next thing you know less people criminal gonna come in country, and there's a other opportunity for people to working as well, and then to save money to provide for their family, and then so you know there's gonna be more room available for people to stay home, to apply for home, for rent and stuff like that, which is a win-win for America. But why they complain about? Because the Democrat want you to rely on the government. They don't want you to do anything on your own. That's the whole idea. It has nothing to do with increasing you people. And also, you know, they want you to rely on the food stamp. They want you to understand snap. They want you to rely on them. But Trump, as a Republican, they want you to work. They want you to be self-sufficient. That's why you see all that. Think about also, you can see Kamala as well. They raised $1 billion, and then they still $20 million debt. How is that even possible? This is crazy. And then you want them to talking about all the money, and then Trump use less than that, and then still has money for in their pocket, and he want to pay for those 20 million that Kamala has, and you are about do fake payment for this. Come on, wake up, America. We gotta do something. And I totally agree with what he said. I totally agree. I feel sorry for whoever gonna be affected for that. But at the end of the day, it shouldn't happen in the first place, and then they shouldn't be here in the first place. And next thing you know, somebody has to do a hard decision, and we gotta send for America, because at the end of the day, those 10 million people is 10 million jobs that take away from American people, and the crisis of the job is very crazy. People need to survive. People need to put food on the table. They need to close, and next thing you know, they need to survive. And guys, family, with the thumbs up, subscribe.